So we're joined by Hannah Wilkinson and Jitka Klimková following our win against Norway in our first game at the FIFA Women's World Cup last night at Eden Park. A day later, morning after, how does it feel waking up after that first game?
Amazing, absolutely incredible. Everyone's stoked. The energy is really, really high. Everyone's in high spirits at the moment. Honestly, we're all just ecstatic. I think what's really special, though, is that while we are celebrating and extremely happy, we're already thinking about and preparing for the next game because we know how important that is. While it was historic and it was an amazing achievement, we've still got a big job to do.
What about you?
It's so nice to see players still keep smiling and enjoying this moment because how I said yesterday, we were waiting for this for a long, long time. So we did it. I'm glad that the players who played most of the time are taking care now of their bodies. They are recovering. They are recovering physically, mentally. They will spend some time with their families. Players, our game changers, already had sessions behind them in their legs, and the session was actually incredible. Really great energy on the field, and now we are refocusing to be prepared for our game number 2.
Okay, over to you guys.
Jitka, what was going through your mind when 9 minutes of stoppage time fetched up, and then when the clock ticked past, you were checking your watch?
It was the longest 10 minutes in my life. But honestly, we believed that we can do it, and the way how we did it was unforgettable.
Hannah, what's the best message you've received sort of from anyone after last night?
Oh, I think collectively, just hearing the nation say that they're proud of us and that it was just one of the best moments of Kiwi sporting history, I think is a pretty special thing to hear. I really hope we made an impression on the country about what women's football means and what it's like. It's so special.
Hannah, can you take us back to the moment when the ball came across to you and then what was going through your mind after it fired into the back of the net?
Yeah, honestly, we started that game with nothing but belief that we could win and also had to win that game collectively. And you could feel that the second we stepped onto the pitch. I think we were creating chances, we were looking threatening. I think we shocked Norway a little bit, and we had the support of a home crowd. That's something that we've never had before to that extent, and we felt that, we really did. And so it was almost like we all knew this goal was coming. I certainly did, I could feel it. And the second that I saw Jackie have it down there, I knew that the cross was coming, and I was like, this is it, we're scoring. We're going 1-0 up now. So I think when we had that certain belief that we could do it, it was just something we expected, and it was amazing, indescribable.
It was so great moment for me as a coach when during the halftime, I looked at Wilkie and Wilkie just said, "We got this. It's coming. We got this." And 3 minutes later, she did it.
Big 5 minutes.
Hannah, was that the best footballing atmosphere you've been a part of?
100%, absolutely. I mean, we're so used to playing in front of away crowds, booing every time we get the ball. So to have it the other way around, I mean, you can see why the US has such a good time playing in their country. You can see what it feels like to be the Matildas playing in their country, and we had it tonight. It was just sensational.
It's important to celebrate this moment, but this is just the beginning, essentially. You played the Philippines last year and you beat them. What is it going to take to beat them again, but this time in a World Cup?
Again, we will review the game against Norway. We will focus on things that we've done well, things that we want to still keep improving. That's our process. Those are our processes that are happening after every game. And we've studied Philippines. We played them. We know them very well. We will be even watching tonight's game against Switzerland. And then we have 3 days to get ready for it. So, again, the preparation will be very similar how we've done it against Norway. We already those 9 weeks that we spent together, we were preparing for all those 3 games with this team. So we already have a lot of knowledge about Philippines, and now we'll just really focus on little details that can help us to beat them again.
And Hannah, Jitka mentioned recovery, and I think Ali said last night she was already straight in the ice bath. First of all, how are you feeling today physically? And, are you doing everything and anything you can to make sure your body's fine for Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm a bit tired today. It was hard to get to sleep last night. But, like you said, doing everything I possibly can. Thankfully, we had some massages today. Already had that done, feeling better, fueling, hydrating. I think the girls are really taking this time to really, really prepare. And like I said earlier, we're having conversations about Philippines now. Like, it was awesome what we did, but now we've got another job to do. So.
And just finally, playing in Wellington, is that something you're looking forward to? They've got a massive football following there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was our first. I played for Melbourne City, and our first game of the A-League was actually a home game in Wellington. I was actually injured, so I missed that one. So to be able to play in Wellington now at a home World Cup is like, thank goodness I can actually do it now. So I'm actually stoked about that.
Jitka, how quickly has this team's maybe expectations changed after last night?
We believed from the beginning. We were so prepared. We worked so hard for this moment, and we stayed calm. We stayed focused, and we believed, and we did it. Well deserved. I have to say, well deserved from every player that played on the field yesterday, and the bench and the fans. Like, that was just an incredible moment for everybody.
From what I understand, I think tickets, for Wellington for the Philippines game have surged, as well as some tickets for tonight's games and a whole lot of other games. So it's kind of set this wave for the rest of the tournament here. What does that maybe feel and sound like to you, to hear that, after last night's performance, it's created this big momentum and wave for the rest of this country to really get behind you?
So happy because that's one of our priority, one of our goal. We want to make the nation proud. We want to inspire the young girls and boys playing more football, and our performance and the win in the end of the day definitely help the football madness in New Zealand.
Hannah, maybe just that question to you as well, just hearing that, it's the surge in ticket prices, tickets as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Part of this being a host of a Women's World Cup here the hope was that we would create a legacy of women's football and show the nation how exciting it can be and how great we can be as a side. And I really hope our win did that for the Kiwis tonight. And it sounds like it did, with more tickets selling. That's what we want to hear. That home support, that home crowd, it makes a difference. So if we can get as many people out as we can, that's what's going to be the difference.
Michael. And just on the goal again, the ball actually bounced just before it got to you, which can be quite tricky. Was that were you thinking at that stage, or it's all just sort of instinctive?
Yeah, I didn't allow those thoughts to creep in. I think the second Jackie got it, I said this is going in because it has to. So I was just really stoked that I could be composed enough to put that away for us, and it was an amazing team goal. It was something like 6 touches from a goal kick down. It was so beautiful, it kind of sums up our performance, I think. We were just so good. We were so good.
Was that kind of a planned move, the ball out to CJ and then?
One of the variations, yes.
Hannah, that kind of thing comes though from having a big scouting team. You talked about massages today. There's a lot more resource around this team that you've had even at past World Cups. Can you just talk about how that sort of actually is helping this team be in a place to play its best possible football? And you hope it's not something that doesn't disappear once this tournament's over?
Absolutely. You can definitely see that does make a difference. And I would add in the fact that we had 9 whole weeks together to really work on things. It's not, we're used to kind of going away overseas, training twice, maybe 3 times if we're lucky, and then playing and figuring it out during the game. So you can really see the difference that makes when we're together for a long period, especially with a team that's got about 21 new ferns in it, that we have to kind of figure each other out. And so we had that time before this tournament, and you can tell that all of that hard work is really paying off.
And just for both of you, are there plans to watch the Switzerland-Philippines game at 5 p.m? Are you all going to do it together?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Most of us will watch it together. I'm sure we'll all be watching that. And just kind of eyeing up the opposition for sure.
I just got a question from our Whangarei paper. Did you think about everyone back home? I imagine you did last night. How special is it to think of all them and I guess your journey from your hometown to here?
Yeah, pretty special, amazing. I think, the more exposure I can be a part of for women's football, especially in the far north when it is rugby land, it's nice to try and get, the far north exposed. I think the way that I made the national team was that I had to move to Auckland, and now we've got a team that's kind of, we've got a lot of players from all across New Zealand now, and national team coaches are looking at players across the country, not just Auckland like it was back when I made the team. So I like to think that you can be from anywhere in New Zealand as long as you're putting in the hard work and you get under the coach's noses, you can make it.
Yeah, just on the centre-back change, was that down to Rebecca's sort of workload after being sick last week, or what was the sort of rationale there?
Yeah, we were actually it was we were aware of that she physically was not 100%. So, and again, thinking about the next games and what is in front of us, that was why we took her off the field.
And just on Malia, Jackie, Indy, they're all young. They were all playing their first World Cup match, and they were all really impressive. Obviously, Indy and Jackie were involved in the goal. Malia was everywhere in midfield. What did you make of those three young players just fitting in so seamlessly at this level?
I have to say it was incredible performance from all three of them, and it's so helpful to have players like Wilkie, like Ria, Ali Riley, study around them, so they have their role models on the field and they can learn from them. So I think we knew the balance between young and experience is going to be important, and yesterday it clicked. It all clicked, and how I said, well-deserved win.
Hannah, do you have to remind them that World Cup wins don't come that easy, don't come that often?
No need to remind them. I think they're pretty aware of how amazing that was. No, they're fantastic. And, playing up front with Jackie, she's such a talented player and she's just only going to get better. I mean, honestly, that you couldn't ask for a better cross. Thankfully, we've worked together long enough to know each other, as well as, I knew she would put that cross in early because of the time that we've spent playing together. So, I mean, amazing. We've got some amazing young talent moving through, and I hope New Zealand is excited about that.
Yeah, what does the next few days look like in terms of getting back into training, and then when do you head to Wellington?
Mm-hmm. So we already have one training behind us, how I said, with the game changers. And tomorrow, match day -3. So we will focus on our attack, we will focus on our defense the next day, and then the match day -1 is usually in front of the goal, so final third and defensive third decisions.
Yeah, after a tough stretch of results, how much was last night's result personal vindication for you?
I think you could see our faces after the game, like so much emotions. Unforgettable moment for everybody. It was so incredible just to see all the former Ferns crying and celebrating with us, saying, finally, we got this. Like, we were waiting for this so long, and having them behind us, having the crowd behind us. I have goosebumps just talking about it. It's just amazing moment, and I have to say a huge thank you to our fans in the Czech Republic, because we are making them proud. So yeah, it's one of the most amazing moment in my life.
And how did the team celebrate? There was talk of some hokey pokey ice cream.
We had vanilla actually yesterday. That was pretty good. Yeah.
We were spoiled.
Did you see Amber Hearn after the game at all?
I did, yeah.
Being a sort of long time
yeah.
colour strike.
Yeah, it's really special to see her. little bit of a full circle moment. I think I've always looked up to her. I learned a lot from her playing alongside her. She's one of the best forwards I've ever played with, had the pleasure of playing with. So it was really special to see her. Yeah.
And do you know how many goals you've scored in your career, club and country?
I don't know, but do you?
It's a lot. It's a lot. So where does that one rank last night?
Oh, that tops everything. That's the best one by far, of course.
Hannah, it's kind of, you know, a lot of people, some of the best moments in their lives are things that only happen once. You pretty much got to do what, you know, one of the best moments in your life, scoring against Mexico. You basically got to do that again, but just, I guess, a little bit better, a lot better. It's kind of crazy to sort of be able to repeat something like that. Is that something?
Yeah, I mean, I was always asked about that moment and making history for New Zealand with our first tie without the possibility of even getting out. And at the time, that was, of course, special to even make history in that way. But looking back on it, you know, we now have higher expectations of ourselves, and we now are in a place where we really do believe that we can win games and beat good teams. And that's just something that we did last night, and we showed that we could do it.
And Jitka, I know you've got a lot of faith in this team, as you said last night, but did you really, really believe that such a dominant performance was possible
Michael,
against a team like
I
Norway?
really, really, really believed.
You mentioned the Czech Republic, like, have you had, you know, is there attention on you back there? Like,
My whole village watched the game.
That's awesome.
awesome.
They were celebrating with us, so that's I did not expect so much messages, so much support from my country. So yeah, it's New Zealand and Czech Republic is coming together.
Love that.
We've also got Finland behind us, I believe, as well, pretty much. So.
Nice. Take everyone.
Yeah, last few questions, please.
So what's it like to be world famous in Auckland and Prague?
I don't know about famous, but it's pretty special.
Yeah.
Hannah, do you remember what time you actually, you know, you were excited, you were up late, what time you actually got to sleep?
I definitely had to eat something about 2 a.m. So around then, I guess, 3 a.m., I don't know. Yeah, it was, I just, couldn't believe it. I mean, it was just a surreal feeling, and I just couldn't be more proud, honestly. Couldn't be more proud to be a part of this team.
Were you replaying the goal over in your head as you fallen asleep?
Yeah, well, I was able to watch it. There were so many angles of it, so it was even better. I was just so... the crowd is what did it for me, I think, is just sharing that moment with that many people and with hopefully a lot of the nation watching. I think that was something that was just so special.
And Jitka, you mentioned half-time before with the words from Hannah. What was said at half-time amongst the team and from you? And
We were talking about consistency. We had good performance in first half. We wanted to keep performing the way how we started the game. We were talking about spaces that we can exploit even more. And then Wilkie said, we got this.
Okay, last question, anybody?
After yesterday's performance, how far can you go now?
We go game by game, step by step. So Philippines are next, and we will totally focus now on that game, and then we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.